This is a quick taster video of some things that I have acquired from an engineer. I'll say a little bit about them as I just show you what it is that I've acquired, and what there will be a range, a whole stream of videos as I, let's say, play with these things but get them going. Well, I didn't actually meet the person that made these. I spent some time with his son and widow, and so they were having to deal with all the things that he'd left behind. I mean, lots and lots of things. And these are a few that I've acquired because they're unusual, strange and interesting. Let's have a look at some of these engines at the back. So what we've got is a Stirling engine here, made from a kit that you can get. This is a vacuum engine or flame sucker. So as this moves, we'll have a go at getting these things going. All very nicely made. And this clever little thing is a solenoid engine. You see, that's a solenoid and a micro switch, converting a reciprocating motion into a rotary motion with a very interesting twisting device down there. So we can look at that. Let's look at the next two things, which are very similar. These are Meccano motor locomotives. So you've got the battery boxes that come with a motorized Meccano set. Here we have two motors driving back to back on a central thing, and as you can see, it's built out of some really quite nice silver Meccano. And when the pulleys are connected to this down here, then that will drive the wheels, which fortunately for me are 45mm gauge wheels. So when we have power to those motors, we'll have to see what sort of power we get from these batteries. Then we will get that should move along the track. And similarly this one, two Meccano motors back to back, driving the central pulley there, and then axles with 45mm wheels on. You'd have a pulley band on there. Slightly different approaches in each one. There's a little bracket there in the middle of this one. Oh, there isn't that one. Well, minor differences. So yeah, two Meccano locos. This is a really interesting car. So if you look at it from this side, it's a Meccano car. Very nice steering mechanism there. Lovely. But the motor drive on this is this pancake motor. And by the look of it, it's a motor that has come out of a cassette or tape recorder. And that's the tape recorder band. And so the interesting thing will be working out how to get that motor powered and moving for that thing to work. Right, what else have we got? Well, this has been fabricated out of sheet metal with a boiler, a vertical representation of a vertical boiler, and underneath it what we've got is, well, you can see there's a pulley up the side here, and then a geared motor drive, because there's a motor in there inside. So you've got a geared motor drive in that one. Two tenders or trucks that would run behind them in the same livery. An interesting representation of a tank loco with some nice frames, and again a motor drive. Look at that, quite a reasonable size DC motor, two pair of worm wheels driving the wheels, so that's both driven. And we can see the Meccano conrod there. And finally, this is a representation of, I believe that's an electric loco, but whatever loco is, it's one that was found at the plant where this gentleman worked. And again, if I take the bodywork off, you can see some of the fabrication of it. A chassis here that has a geared motor drive again, there we go. More to be said about those at some future date, where I will be doing some videos where hopefully the locomotive versions will be powered and controlled, and I'll have them running around my track, and the stationary engines I'll get running just as an experimentation in those 3 different modes of engine that we've got over there. I hope that whets your appetite for these unusual objects, and that you decide you would like to see more and see the videos. So this is just under 7 minutes introduction to these new items.